Hi, welcome back, all of you. I was explaining the basic concepts of object oriented programming. So, we'll continue with the next topic, that is inheritance of object oriented programming. This inheritance is the one more important feature of object oriented programming. That is nothing but is a mechanism of acquiring the properties of one class to another class. That is nothing but we can inherit the properties of a parent class to its child class, or a subclass can inherit the properties of its parent class, or we can say a subclass can inherit the properties of its superclass. That is what inheritance is the mechanism of acquiring the properties of one class to another class. That is nothing but inheritance. This inheritance mechanism ensures us the reusability of the code. That is nothing but we can reuse the code whatever we have written in its parent class or in its superclass. when you declare when you declare a multiple classes when you declare a multiple classes, we can reuse the same code from its superclass to its subclass. And also inheritance has is a relationship. That is nothing but, I'll take one example and I'll be explaining you all. That is, there is a class by the name animals, and there is a subclass by the name mammal. There is a subclass by the name reptile. That is nothing but mammal is a subclass of animal, and reptile is also a subclass of animal. That is nothing but mammal is a kind of animal, reptile is also a kind of animal. There is nothing but mammal can inherit the properties of animals, as well as reptile can inherit the properties of animals. There is nothing but mammal is a animal, reptile is a animal. That is what is a relationship of inheritance. That is nothing but these all subclasses can inherit the properties of animal class. I'll take one more example here. There is a class A, there is a class B. That is nothing but class A and class B. There are two classes present. The properties of class A can be inherited to the class B with the help of extends keyword. With the help of extends keyword, that is nothing but class B can inherit the properties of class A. That is what inheritance is. So we'll see how exactly the implementation of inheritance takes place programmatically in further videos. Okay, let me move to the next topic, that is polymorphism. That is polymorphism. The polymorphism is one more important concept of object oriented programming. That is nothing but there are two terms within in it. That is, poly is one word, morphism is one word. Poly means many, morphism means behavior or forms or forms. That is nothing but many forms, many behaviors. That is what polymorphism. Polymorphism means the ability to take more than one form. The ability to take more than one form. That is what polymorphism. For example, class A is there. It is consisting of one method by the name show, and I have created here an object, that is obj object of this type class A. That is object obj is a class, obj is an object of type class A, and its implementation is done by its constructor A. We'll see exactly how object can be created and how we can use that object to call a particular method programmatically in subsequent videos later. So here as an example for polymorphism, I'm declaring a class A and I'm adding one method to it, that is show, and I'm calling that show method with the help of object obj of class A. That is, this show method can be called with the help of this object obj.show. That time it will be calling this method. That is one form of this show method. Then if there is a class A and I have one method show and one more method show, but with different parameter int I, and it is consisting no parameters. Here this show method, it is having one parameter int I. That is nothing but when I create an object of this class A obj, then we can use that obj object to call these two methods, call to these two methods by the object obj. When you say object.show, it will call this show method. It is matching, it identifies whether it is consisting of any parameters or not. If there is no parameter, it will call this particular method and it will get executed. Then object.show, when I say show and passing a value as 10 as an integer, because I'm creating an integer parameter argument to this show method. That's why it identifies there is a parameter int I and I have to pass an integer value, any value. Then it will identify that integer parameter and it will call this particular method. That is nothing but method overloading. Method overloading. That is nothing but in the same class we are defining two show methods but with different parameters, different number of arguments. Here there is no parameter to this show method, there is a parameter to this show method. That's why this show will be act for this show will be called by this. That is what method overloading. By the same name we are defining two methods by the same name but with different parameters. That is what polymorphism. This acts a different method, this acts as a different method. Then if you consider one more example of polymorphism, class A, and I have the same method show in class A and one more method, one more class I'm creating here, class B extends A. This is nothing but inheriting the properties of class A to B, inheriting the properties of class A to class B with the help of extends keyword. This extends keyword is used to inherit the properties of this class A to class B. And when I use this object, anyhow I have created here a class B, I'm going to create an object of this class B and I use that object to call a method by the name show. Assume that there is no method present in class B. When you say even though you are creating an object of class B and you are calling show method, there is no method present in this particular class, but it will call object.show from this class. This is because this class B is inheriting the properties of class A. Even though this show method is present in this class A, it is calling when the control comes to this line, it will be calling to this show method. That is what having the same method, having the same method in different classes. That is what method overriding. Assume that this class is present here, show, and this class is present here in class A. This show method is present in class A. This show method is present in class B. That is nothing but a, when you call object.show, it will be go and call this show method, because no need to go and call this show method, because in class B itself we have a show method. It will call this method, and there is no parameter to this also, there is no parameter to this also. Even though this is not present here, it will be going and calling this particular method. That is because of extends keyword. This indicates that class B is inheriting the properties of class A.